In the next few minutes, I'm going to share what the future of your job is going to look like. Hang in there. We're starting right now. Imagine what your career is going to be like in 10 years. What about 15? Have you thought about that far? You know, the job you have now, you may not have in the future. There's some great jobs coming up in the future that you should probably start training for right now. So stay with me and let me share some of these great careers that you can get in on with cutting technology right now. You know, with today's changing technology, obviously the jobs that you have now are not going to be here in the future. Let's think about that. You know, let's recap. Today, you go to a grocery store and you got self-checkout. You go to a fast food restaurant and you can check out at a kiosk before they bring you the food. So what they're doing is eliminating regular everyday jobs. Think about that. So if you have a regular everyday job, or if you have a job that technology isn't involved in, it may not be there in 10 to 15 years. Let's go through some jobs that I think are going to be the future of careers. If you start transitioning now, you'll be poised for a great position in the future. The first one I want to talk about is Smart Home Design Manager. Now, smart homes are becoming a thing of the future. They're right here, they're right now in a lot of cases. You can turn your lights on, you can turn your lights off, you can see who's at your door, you can open and control your garage door. There's so many things that you can control right now. Matter of fact, I've got, just the other day, I can control my grill on my phone. Now, we've reached a whole nother level there because that was kind of cool. But it's called the Internet of Things. And as the Internet of Things advances, so are our smart homes. So it's going to take someone that can manage all of this. Smart Home Design Manager. Somebody's going to want to design all these homes. Back in the day, I remember there was a Bugs Bunny cartoon with Daffy Duck, and Daffy Duck was selling this button that did everything to make the house work. Every button. The vacuum cleaner would work, the oven would turn on, the house would raise up in a flood. If you think about that, we're almost there. Now, I don't think my house is going to raise up when the flood comes, but I have a lot of those things in my house that Daffy Duck did back in the 60s. So what was an imagination has become reality. So Smart Home Design Manager is a great career to start looking into today. Highway Controller. Now, our highways are already busy. They're full, the traffic is heavy. There actually is a management control system, but think about the drones that are in the air right now. Think about autonomous cars. Think about flying cars. Think about things that we don't have today. A highway controller is going to control not only the highways, but the traffic space above the highways, i.e. for the flying cars and the drones. Drones are everywhere right now. People buy them, you can buy them in the store, they're toys. But they're becoming a problem, and soon they're going to have somebody control this airspace above between flying and driving. So that's coming. So consider that as your next future. You know, healthcare is really changing. COVID did a lot of things for our healthcare that was probably a good thing. You know, you don't have to see a doctor anymore. You can call him up on the phone, he'll talk to you. You can get on your internet and he'll talk to you via his phone. AI, artificial intelligence, is becoming a thing in the healthcare division. You know, you go to the hospital and you'll see this little computer with this doctor on it. You know, we laughed when we first saw it, but it's becoming reality. You know, there's not enough doctors to go around, so they've found in ways to spread the doctor around without having to be physically there. So an AI-assisted healthcare technician is going to be needed in the future, if not already, to help assist the doctor with the patient. Think of someone that's not quite qualified or doesn't have a doctor qualification, but has access to a doctor right now. So you can take your artificial intelligence, or you can assist the artificial intelligence into going into the patient, connecting with the doctor, and seeing what's going on. And the doctor can make a diagnosis right there from either his home, his office, or wherever he's at, and he can see twice as many people. So consider AI-assisted health technician. You may not find it right now on Indeed, but you'll find it soon. It's coming. So think about that for your next career. Okay, Okay, this one I've mentioned before, and it's becoming a real thing. It is a thing, and it has been a thing for a few years, but it's going to become a really big thing real soon. Wind turbine technician. Think about all those turbines out there in the ocean that are spinning in the wind. Think about all those in the valleys that are spinning. They're going to triple in size in the next 5 years. Let us try to get away from fossilized fuels. There's only, we got to have electricity somehow, and wind turbines and solar energy are our future. Fossilized fuels have become almost a thing of the past. Yes, we have gas in our car, but several automakers have stopped making gasoline engines. What's that tell us? We're going to battery. We're going to electricity. We're going to battery-operated cars. We're going to wind-operated electricity. We're going to solar energy in your homes. It's coming. Depending on where you live, it's already there. You look at my neighborhood, and most of the homes in the neighborhood already are under solar energy. You go to California, a new home has to have solar energy right now. So think about that. The technology is changing as far as the way we get our electricity and the way we use our cars. But a wind turbine technician is one of the jobs for the future. Over the last 20 years, software for our computers has become a necessity. Software development has been moving up in the world for the last 20 years, and that's going to be continuing on. They're still going to need software developers. We're still going to need to develop software to handle the Internet of Things that we've just scratched the surface on. The Internet of Things is going to be in 10 years, is going to be the main thing. So software developers are turning away from websites into how to develop software for Internet of Things. So consider software development, and there are some schools involved in that, but a software developer is not going anywhere. And I think that's still a job that's going to be around in the future. I talked about the Internet of Things a few seconds ago, and think about this. The Internet of Things collects all this data. Now, where does this data go? It goes into a bank. We're getting away from hard drives on our computer. We're putting everything up on the cloud. As unsettling as that seems sometimes, because your information is up on the internet and there's many data breaches that you never know if your information is safe. But a data detective is the person that collects all that data and analyzes all that data to determine what is needed and what is not. Soon everything we have is going to be on a card or on our thumb. I may not agree with the way it's coming, but technology is fast and the future is here. And I think that no longer will we start, my opinion, no longer will we have credit cards in our pocket or debit cards. It'll all be right here in our thumbprint. And I think all that data is going to be needing someone to control it. And so just like a cop would investigate somebody stealing something from you in your house, you're going to need data detectives that's going to be involved in finding out where the data went to, who took the data, if that's the case, or how are we managing the data. If something fails, what does that data tell us that we can fix? And we're already kind of there with the cars, with the computers in the cars. When car fix, back in the day, you broke the car down, you opened the hood, and everybody knew how to fix something on a car. Now, not today. You open the hood and you barely see an engine because there's so many wires under there. There's so many computers in there. So you have to think about all the data that computer is collecting. So when we have a car problem, we take our car to an auto technician now, not a mechanic, a technician. And the technician, the first thing he does is starts reading codes and reading data from the car to find out what the data is telling us. Well, that's the same thing as a data detective. He's going to find out what all the data from the Internet of Things is giving us and what is wrong in certain places. So if you like criminal investigation, or if you like investigating things and you have a curiosity mind, data detective is the next stage. So I didn't set this video up to scare you, and I do have a nugget for you today. Human touch is still going to be needed. All right, we are still humans. We're not robots. We are still humans. So human touch is still going to be needed. Jobs like coaching, jobs in the caring industry, home health care, caring for the elderly. Those types of jobs, service industry jobs that are involved in connection. You can't have a robot come fix your air conditioner. Not yet. You can't have, I'm not saying it can't happen, but chances are you're not going to have a robot cut your hair. You're still going to need people. I think some of the fast food restaurants autonomous very soon, and I think the requirements for minimum wage are going to affect. That's just my opinion, but I think touch services, human touch is still going to be there. You still need a hug. You still need, so as our population grows and gets older, you're going to see that those type of services are still needed and are going to start paying very well because of the need. So that's my nugget for the day. So consider human services as a career that you may not see much, but it's always going to be needed. So my final thoughts today are, this wasn't aimed at scaring you out of what the career you're in. But you always need to keep an open mind for careers, because you never know what's going to change. Our world changes daily, and it's amazing how much I've seen change over the years. Now, I always say my grandson, he's almost 4, and he'll know more things before he's 8 than I probably will ever know. He's already knows how to use a computer. He already knows how to use software programs in his daily activities as learning. That's coming, and we're always going to need that. So we always need to keep in mind how we're earning a living and what's going to change. So keep dreaming. Don't think the job that you have now is the same job you're going to have in 10 years. It's not going to happen. I think technology is going to take over and push your job out of the way, and I think you're going to have to learn something new. So open your mind, enjoy the ride, and keep dreaming. Now for today, this is Chuck, and Chuck is